day before yesterday, time has run together, that President Obama had announced that Story County was in the disaster area for public assistance. As of this morning, I'm pleased to announce that there has been a presidential disaster declaration for individual assistance. And let me read a quote from the press release that is being released here as we speak. Disaster assistance can include grants for temporary housing and home repairs, low-cost loans to cover uninsured property losses, and other programs to help individuals and business owners recover from the effects of the disaster. However, Story County Emergency Manager Lori Morrissey reminds the affected citizens that, quote, insurance must come first and income levels may play a part in the eligibility or amounts received. FEMA programs are developed to ensure safe, structural, habitable conditions, but will not help paint, carpet, or decorating. Lori Morrissey is with us here today. If you have any questions that you would like to address to her. There are, as I say, this has just happened this morning, and as a result, we still have details to work out on where the FEMA will be headquartered and how to go about it. I do have, however, for your information here, both a website and a phone number, which I will give you now. The website being www.disasterassistance.gov, www.disasterassistance.gov, or the phone number is 1-800-621-FEMA. 1-800-621-FEMA. Are there any questions on that subject? There will be more coming, I'm sure. Now, in terms of where we go from here, one of the questions that has come up has to deal with a lot of how we recover just from what the last 6 days have been in terms of the water distribution and so on. John Joyner, Public Works Director, is here to talk to us about the disposal of all the plastic bottles that we've received, sandbags, and so on. So, John?
As the mayor stated, I have a few items to consider as we all move forward in the continued recovery and cleanup. For anyone that has any flood-damaged household items, please call your local hauler. Whatever hauler you use for your normal trash pickup, call that hauler and they can make arrangements to handle those items as well. For the sandbags, if there's anybody out there that used the sandbags from our sandbag stations, they can go ahead and return those there. If they have special needs and need assistance, then they can call our Public Works Operations Desk at 239-5550. Otherwise, if no special assistance is needed, as I stated, please return those bags to the sandbag sites. Again, those sites were at South Duff and Southeast 3rd, the vacant lot there next to Target, and on the old South Dayton and Southeast 16th, again, the vacant lot, which was the old gas station there. The water distribution sites, the 4 that we've had throughout this disaster, will be closing about 5 o'clock this evening. And we've had the question come up, what to do with all those plastic bottles that we've distributed through those sites. You can go ahead and just throw those bottles in with your regular trash. The hauler will pick those up with your regular garbage, and they will be delivered to our resource recovery system. Our resource recovery system is unique to the state of Iowa. That's actually a recycling method. So all those plastic bottles that we've been using will be recycled and turned into electricity and offset the use of coal. So those will be recycled. Any questions?
John, has there been any more main breaks discovered in the last
No,
day?
not since Friday, luckily.
Okay.
The question was if there had been any more main breaks discovered. We had one more as we were getting into the flushing operation. That was quickly handled, didn't delay our flushing at all, obviously, and none since.
Are all of them fixed now?
Yes. Well, the one large main we still have left to fix in the haunted forest area. We still have to get to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
As we shift gears, we are looking at a different set of issues, obviously. As contrasted to all of our previous press conferences where we had immediate needs from departments, I would like to point out, if you have any questions, we have here in the room today, Warren Madden, Vice President of Iowa State University, who could answer any questions dealing with the ramping up and students returning at Iowa State. Chuck Sykosh, Chief of Police, is here. Don Comm, Electric Director, is here. Kevin Anderson, City Sanitarian, Clint Peterson, Fire Chief, and numerous others. They are ones that you have seen previously up in this horseshoe setting. Are there any questions at this point you'd like to address to any of those people?
And all of the water that was brought in starting Thursday, what happens to all of that water now? All of the bottled water?
That has not been used?
Yes, ma'am.
I will call on Nancy Carroll for that, who has been assigned that responsibility.
The question is of how much of the remaining water that we no longer need, what will be done with that? We're in communication right now with Lori Morrissey, which will transfer into conversation with FEMA and Homeland Security. We need to do an inventory just to see what we do actually have now left. We'll be doing that probably tomorrow. And we don't know, it may be returned to FEMA or other areas that are in need of water. So we're just, again, under the mode of studying everything and getting an assessment.
Some of it could use for cleanup.
Yep, that's right. Thank you. Some of it may be, if we need it, we'll keep it too. Of course, if there's, as people continue to do work, activity, we're going to need some just for those workers. So.
Are there any other questions that you'd like to address to any of these individuals? If not, I'd like to make a few comments as we bring this phase to a close. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what's been happening behind the scenes for the last 6 days. What you've seen is the public presentations here. You've seen people out flushing mains. You've seen them monitoring river levels. You've seen our police force out, our parks people, and so on in full force. However, what has not been visible to the public eye is what's been going on behind the scenes, and I'd like to update you a bit on that, and just in terms of what the city staff has been doing around the clock, as well as Iowa State University, working very closely together with us. Starting Tuesday night, the emergency, when the rains started and flash flooding started, the Emergency Operations Center was immediately activated in the police department. It has been going constantly and is just in the process of being deactivated right now. Unlike many disasters that there have been, this one was a constant fluid situation, starting out looking first at thinking we were just fighting floods, and then in turn, and then recognizing that the whole water distribution issue was something. So as a result, many of the people that were in that room were not able to do what is generally done, and that is be out and be seen, if you will, in the community, because there was constant need and changing moment by moment, monitoring what a potential second flood might be, as well as what the water situation was. So we have had to rely very much on the reports that have been brought in by the people that have been out in the community. And I would like to also say that I had the privilege of being there much of that time, and I cannot tell you loudly enough what a remarkable scene it was with city staff, university assistants, others coming in and out on lack of sleep. Never once was there any observation of frayed tempers. All of the time there was cooperation, teamwork for people who were indeed working well outside the area that they were hired to work in, or frankly even trained to work in. But as a result, we've come 2 days ahead to what you see here today. I think it indeed, we have had the initial announcement, this was an unprecedented disaster for the city of Ames. I can also say it was unprecedented cooperation and teamwork behind the scenes, and for that I hope every citizen is very grateful. The code red, which woke all of us up between 5 and 5:30 last Wednesday morning, announced again, using the term unprecedented, that we had announced